there's 3 because you can do a lot of stuff that you can't do in real life. Like you can fly.
I like the games because like it's just like a TV show, but you're like acting it out and you're not even in it.
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
You get better graphics, more levels of play, better animation on the screen, longer games, just more fun to play. Our sales right now are up about 50%.
Jord, you were saying something?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Basically, I made the Switch.
You made the Nintendo Switch?
No, like, I switched from PlayStation to Xbox during the PS3 era. That initial launch title price, my parents got me a 360 instead, and the exclusives I lost, the friends I lost, the free online play. Excuse me?
Nothing. Please continue.
No. Say it.
It's just funny that you switched, you know? I never switched. I've stayed with one console my entire life. I've been paying this guy for Xbox Live since I was 12. Lifetime subscription, baby.
Dude, aren't you supposed to be my therapist, though?
Okay, so you want to get over your trauma, right?
Yes.
And it's very easy, right?
Right.
So, all you have to do to get over this trauma is make a 2-part video with me covering the console wars in its entirety.
Wow. Okay, thanks, Doc. I feel better already.
The war started long before Drew Does Reviews and I were born. With the popularity of gaming systems rising after the NES in 1983, more and more consoles were being thrown onto the market. Some fighters stood strong and are still standing strong to this day.
We are Nintendo. You cannot beat us.
Some dug their own graves. Yes, this was an ad for a handheld gaming system.
I've only known one console for my entire gaming career, and that console had a big ass X on it. From Halo on the original Xbox, Halo 3 on the Xbox 360, Halo 4 on the Xbox One, the Master Chief Collection on the Xbox Series S. Yeah, guy, we play Halo over here, pal, alright? We play Halo, you keep your spider guy. The console wars turned me into a loyal gaming machine. So many hours put into the Avatar Maker. So many gamer points accrued.
This war that eventually was just Nintendo and Sega eventually funneled down into whatever the hell this was. Everything was going to change when a new contender arrived at the battlefield. But this contender wasn't random, it was more festered. It was planted like a spore, and this spore was planted by somebody already long in the console wars. Meet Ken Kutaragi, currently the CEO of Cyber AI Entertainment, oh my god, but previously he was helmed as the father of PlayStation.
If anybody watching this doesn't know, you were one of the protagonists, one of the people behind the creation of Sony PlayStation. Is that right?
It's my eternal dream when I was a very young boy.
One day witnessing his daughter play Nintendo's Famicom, Kutaragi thought he could improve on this technology and be a part of the advancements of this up-and-coming medium.
Oh, you've got so many great visions for, I think, where you want gaming to go. What is your goal still in life?
My goal?
Yes.
My goal, I don't know. No one knows. I'm some kind of the crazy guy.
The most well-known tale of PlayStation's origin was how it came to be. These strung-out business deals that Nintendo made to Sony.
Hey, plumber boy, mustache man, your worst nightmare has arrived.
The PlayStation was the child of this, but that feud started way smaller than that. It started with an audio chip. Kutaragi, who was an engineer for Sony at the time, went behind his supervisor's back to develop the SNES's audio chip, whatever the hell this was. That's right, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System's audio chip was made by the guy that made PlayStation. And when the supervisors of Sony were alerted to this deal, Kutaragi was eventually going to be fired. But the CEO of Sony, Norio Oga, stopped this termination and gave Kutaragi to continue making deals with Nintendo. This CEO might have made a crucial mistake. You see, Nintendo was historically known to be a bit of a prick sometimes. According to Kutaragi, though, the relationship was great. Nintendo had just partnered with him again to make a brand new console. Kutaragi had gone full circle. From running to improve this console that his daughter was playing, to actively being a part of the improvement of its technology. In June 1991, Sony unveiled a brand new system at the Consumer Electronics Show, calling it the PlayStation SFX 100. This brand new console was developed with Nintendo, and guess what? It could play CDs. And then the next day at the very same show, Nintendo unveiled another console that they made with a company called Philips.
You want to talk about the meaning of life? Well, that is why I came here. And I'll be right back to talk about that. But first, let's watch this message about CDI from Philips Electronics.
Which could play CDs. And Sony was like, okay, so we made 300 of these PlayStation SFX 100s. So now the Philips CDI failed immediately, but the damage was already done. Sony felt the burn. The president of Sony, who once saved Kutaragi from termination, pushed him to keep going. Eventually, talks about a Sony and Sega deal were in the works. Sony wanted to produce a CD-ROM capable Sega console called the Sega Multimedia Entertainment System. The Sega American CEO reportedly liked the idea, but when he brought it up to the board of directors in Tokyo, they did not like it. The American CEO has reportedly said that the meeting went along the lines of, "That's a stupid idea. Sony doesn't know how to make hardware. They don't know how to make software either. Why would we want to do this?" So after getting dissed by both Sega and Nintendo, Kutaragi finally had enough. 3 years later, in 1994, the PlayStation was released.
Here we have a normal, healthy young man. And here we have a fellow who's been experimenting with PlayStation for only a few minutes.
The PlayStation was brought to the scene with a vengeful backstory, but it didn't come out swinging. It played it smart. Instead of trying to put CDs in other companies' consoles, they made their own console and put CDs in there, and it worked. The use of compact discs eventually transitioned the entire gaming industry, where even Nintendo was like, fine, I'll use CDs, but only the small ones, and then eventually they even switched. Eventually, third-party games started to sprout like little seeds. Crash Bandicoot, Gran Turismo, Final Fantasy, whatever the hell this one was, Metal Gear Solid, Spyro the Dragon. Things were looking good for the PlayStation. They had just beaten the Sega Saturn into the dirt. Yeah, who can't develop hardware now, you The PlayStation then outsold the Nintendo 64 by 70 million units. It's safe to say the previous contenders of the war had severely underestimated their new competition, and they were very wrong to do so.
Yo, what's up, Crash? Oh, yo, guys, I'm getting a call from Bill Gates, okay? Everyone be quiet. Yo. Hi, Bill Gates. You want to develop software for us? No! Fuck you! Yo!
Riding on their high horses, March 4th, 2000, the PlayStation 2 was released to the world.
I'm here for the PlayStation 2, the best entertainment system to hit the world.
Yeah, actually, it's his birthday present.
One of those things you've been waiting for forever. Finally comes. One of them things.
It's next evolution of PlayStation, and they're doing it right from the beginning. Backward compatibility, allowing you to play the old games, so your PlayStation doesn't die. You don't have to buy new game cartridges.
Not to dumb down the PlayStation 2, but it just made sense to get it. It was basically the price of a DVD player, but you could play video games with it.
Are there any specific features that you're looking for on it?
Yeah, the DVD player and the internet.
Oh, just killer graphics, and I love the backwards compatibility.
Who knew if you let Sony use compact discs, it would actually work? Sony also got David Lynch to release some really out there commercials that you just don't see anymore. David Lynch, what does this mean? The PlayStation 2 had immediate commercial success with over 10 million units sold in under 15 months. Business is good.
Wait. Let me get this straight. The PlayStation 2 released before the first Xbox even came out?
Yeah, well, in Japan, at least, the PlayStation wasn't really readily available for the first year of its launch, so when the Xbox finally did come to the States, the
PlayStation was finally available for the average customer, and that's when the Xbox was as well, so they didn't come in.
Forget that, let's play! Who will buy our goddamn computers? While the PlayStation 2 soared to amazing heights, jealousy and paranoia festered in Microsoft's boardrooms. They became so concerned that the PlayStation 2 would eliminate the market for at-home computers, they felt they needed to get their own slice of the pie out. So, plans began for the legendary Xbox in 1999.
98?
Oh, fuck. In 1998.
And what The Rock is to sports entertainment, to the WWF, the Xbox will be to the video game industry a breakthrough and certainly an original.
The idea behind Xbox's main appeal was that it would be the truest, bestest gaming experience you could get.
The key to .NET, the key to industry transformation, the key to success is developers.
It ran games off Windows 2000, giving it much larger processing power and making it a lot easier for developers to port their games to the Xbox.
Wow, Sonic Riders! Star Wars Battlefront 2!
Need for Speed Underground 2. Can we have some now, mommy?
It also had a nifty Ethernet port on the back of the console that you could connect to the internet with, although this would lead to Microsoft's ultimate sin.
What? It was a lucky shot.
You're probably one of those Microsoft punks that gets the games early,
aren't you?
Online gaming could have been a fact of life, a free addition to your already expensive console, but Microsoft realized there has got to be a way to make money off this. By charging you monthly for Xbox Live, they started a sick trend in the industry. PlayStation's free online service would eventually become a monthly subscription, and now that's kind of just the standard these days.
No, please. Please don't say that.
The Xbox had some genuine merit to it as the ideal gaming console for the time, with its advanced computer-based hardware. Not only that, it had some pretty cool games too. Yeah, that's right, the first fucking Halo, which felt like this magical companion piece to the Xbox, which redefined the shooter genre and became even bigger in culture.
Well, time for some target practice. But why, Snowman?
And then they were also able to secure exclusivity over Morrowind, which was one of the premier open world games of the time. For its time, the Xbox was arguably a state-of-the-art console that genuinely pushed gaming in new directions and opened up the world of online play, even if they charged for it. It outsold the GameCube and the Dreamcast by a wide margin, but Sony was playing in an entirely different arena. And maybe it's just the current wave of nostalgia, but looking back on it, it has such a cool vibe. It's crazy how much style and personality the original Xbox had. It was this ultra green giant black box with these fucking huge controllers. I mean, it was what a retro futuristic depiction of a gaming console would be. While the Xbox didn't do nearly as well as the PS2, it seeded genuine excitement for Microsoft's next installment and how it would hold up with the Titan Sony.
We're so much worse than supervillains now. We're businessmen.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! It's Spider-Man! It's Spider-Man!
So yeah, where the PS2 made sense to get, making it the highest sold console of all time, the PlayStation 3 made absolutely no fucking sense.
Yo, what's up, Ratchet? Okay, get this for the PlayStation 3. I was thinking,
Like, you know how we make the Spider-Man movies? What if we put the Spider-Man font on the console so people knew we made the Spider-Man movies type shit? And let's also make it $599, equivalent to $930 in 2024. You know why? Because business is good. This console thought it had the balls to not only reuse fonts, but also cost more than what a Switch 2 does nowadays. Sure, it was the first console with an HDMI port. Sure, it had Blu-ray, but all of that and more seemed to be racked up in that absurdly high price.
Not even the plastic tarps can fend off the cold. But the mood remains high among these 21 gaming enthusiasts, and they still have to pay for the payoff. Up to $700 a piece. If money's no object, you could go on eBay, but buyer beware. The highest bid tonight was nearly $10,000.
Come on, Jordan. I'm sure there was a very great reason behind why they raised the price. I mean, surely they knew it would force people to make the Switch.
Like Nintendo?
No.
You know what? Maybe you're right.
They care about us. They want to foster a competitive marketplace for sales. They want to make a good experience for me and you.
Yeah, like, they do care about us. You're right, Drew. Thanks.
I'm always right, sport. Now go tell them about that PlayStation 3.
Thanks, Dad.
What?
Shit. Sorry.
Eventually, newer models were made to try to, cut production costs. Yeah, okay, sure, production costs. I know some executive was like, fuck, they caught my 140% profit margin. Not only was there the slim model of the PlayStation 3, but then there was eventually the super slim model.
Well, in America, a 250 gig version will launch on September 25th for $269, with a 500 gig version being made available slightly later on October the 30th for $299.
Dude, imagine seeing that the PlayStation 3 is now, $299 and you were the dude that got it for $600. I would be so pissed. Although the PlayStation 3 sold 87.4 million units, just barely beating the Xbox, it's clear Sony had dropped the ball with the PlayStation 3, creating a completely over-engineered, overpriced mess of a console. A game that they were once very easily beating had become tied due to their own uppityness. While on the other hand, the Xbox 360 looked fucking cool. Had these cool-ass menus compared to these boring-ass, confusing-ass menus. Why do they drop down like that? Why does it do that? They had the cool profile pictures. There's a guy with the freaking beanie. There was the dog. Clearly, Sony was being outsmarted by the people at Microsoft. There must be something that they're doing behind the scenes, behind the curtain, that's just doing something better, right? Oh, God.
Buy a mini fridge for college, get a free ice tray. Or buy a PC for college, get a free Xbox 360.
Project Xenon, an operation that would take at-home gaming to the next fucking level. I guess they really didn't like that modders were able to tamper with the original Xbox, so they worked extensively to try and prevent them from doing that with the 360. Maybe they should have gotten less caught up beefing with modders and fucking focused on making sure their console doesn't overheat and break permanently. The 360 cannot be talked about without mentioning the Red Ring of Death.
Walmart hadn't been open 10 minutes. 360 already Red Ring of Death.
A lot of people are afraid of the Red Ring of Death, and that's definitely a big possibility.
The Red Rings of Doom signal that your Xbox 360 is fried. Microsoft hasn't specified the cause, but users say the console's cooling system just can't take the heat of a lot of plague.
We've been through so much.
I mean, holy shit. Listen to that name. This shit had people spooked. There were many causes behind the Red Ring of Death, but what I can really narrow it down to is that there were parts in the 360 that were poorly or cheaply made, and when the 360 would overheat, those parts would crack. This led to almost half of the original batch of Xbox 360s breaking permanently. Microsoft had warehouses full of just dead 360s that they couldn't do anything with. And the way they made it up to customers was just to give them an entirely new one.
One Xbox has been sent back 3 times, which would be our 4th Xbox.
That, to us, we would respectfully submit as the kind of issue that is ripe for class action adjudication.
Despite this, the 360 was still massively successful and widely popular. The 360 was just a cool fucking console. The controllers were perfect, fit right in your hand. The menus, the console design, the avatars, the name alone, the Xbox 360. It felt like the future in your hands. It dropped with a true classic in Halo 3. It was also able to rip certain exclusives away from Sony and make them available on both consoles. And these weren't just fucking Ace Combat 6, okay? They were able to get GTA 4, Devil May Cry 4, Tekken 6, LA Noire, and for a while, Xbox 360 versions of games were considered superior to the PS3 versions because it was easier to develop for the 360 and the PS3 was super complicated.
Kids meal connected to the monkey. Monkey is connected to the next. Connect them all. Xbox 360. Connect and connect them all so separately.
Now a BK Kids meal can come with a toy for you and your Connectimals pet.
But midway through their console's massively successful lifespan, Microsoft decided to push all their chips in on the Kinect. Microsoft got way too ahead of itself in what it was promising to consumers. I mean, have you seen what they teased for this shit? Project Milo?
I'd like you to meet a boy called Milo. He can recognize our faces, he can recognize our voices, he can recognize emotions in us.
Hi, Milo. How you doing?
Hi, Claire. You okay?
Actually, I'm a bit nervous.
You? Nervous?
They thought they had ChatGPT, man. It was insane what they told people this thing was capable of. Certain executives at Microsoft were quoted saying that the Kinect was basically going to have a planned launch akin to that of a new console. They spent nearly $500 million marketing this thing, only for 20% of Xbox 360 users to end up buying it. They made it seem like you could do fucking flips off the wall and then your character would do that in game. When in reality, you were stuck standing still in one spot and the camera couldn't see you because your cousin kept getting in front of you because he wouldn't let you play Kinect Adventures Bowling. At best, the camera was unreliable, so it ironically made playing motion games a very stiff activity.
The Kinect promises to do away with thumbsticks and buttons and puts players' whole bodies to work with some of the most advanced motion detection technology around.
It failed to match the Wii in ease to play and had such a shit-ass catalog of games because no one could develop for it, because it took up too much of the 360's processing power, because they said they were gonna put a processing chip in the sensor thingy, but then they didn't because that would make it really fucking expensive. See why this was a disaster? The sad truth of the 360 is that it got ultimately outsold by the PS3. That's right, despite the massive head start they had on these guys at Sony, despite Sony completely dropping the ball with the PS3, they still shit the bed and completely killed all of the momentum they had gathered. The 360 is my childhood friend, but much like a childhood friend, I don't realize how shitty they were until much later in life when I could compare them to other things. I still cherish my memories with the 360.
Oh my god. Fuck me, man!
But I don't miss it. Other than the controller. Other than the controller.
November 15, 2013, the PlayStation 4 was released to the world. A console with a design that could peak at 1.84 teraflops. It's a real fact. One of my favorite things about the PlayStation 4 was its controller. It was wireless, it didn't need that fucking little pink bunny. The touchscreen feature was really nice too. I always remembered typing on controllers were a really big hassle for consoles. The lifespan of these controllers, at least with my experience, has also been pretty short. And I vividly remember my brother handing me back my original blue PlayStation 4 controller after playing Fortnite, and it was just like completely, not like cracked, as if it was like the glue had just been undone. This is also where PlayStation had a pretty damn good chokehold on the exclusives. You had Until Dawn, which I remember using the controller to hide from the Wendigo, which was such a cool feature that like only that game used. You had Detroit Become Human, the Spider-Man games, you had God of War, of course.
Oh yeah, bro. You also forgot to include The Last of Us PS3, The Last of Us PS4, The Last of Us Part 2 PS4, The Last of Us Part 2 PS5, and The Last of Us Part 1 for PS5, which is the original Last of Us remastered for PS5.
Which Halo is it now, asshole?
I'm very proud to announce that PlayStation 4 will be available at $399.
$200 less than the PlayStation 3, so they learned their lesson.
You answer to me. You provide for me.
I'm excited to announce that Xbox One will launch this November at $499 in the US, 499 euros in European markets, and 429 pounds in the UK.
At this time, for a simple PlayStation user, the console wars seemed obsolete, at least to what they once were. I mean, even looking at the Xbox and PlayStation commercials for the time, it's clear that the competition has settled. From once having David Lynch direct your commercials and having these crazy visuals, and Xbox having like a fuck you, let's play mentality, now both company ads just actually look like they were made by the same dude. They're all just like the video game characters are in real life, and they're like, come fucking play with us, bitch. It's like, what? Like, why are they all like that? And they're always running for some reason. Like, they always got somewhere to go, and it's like the player like gets up and is like, I'm coming with you. The intros of these consoles are even less cool now. I mean, wipe away the nostalgia glasses, and the PlayStation 2 still has the best console opening ever. And then the PlayStation 4 is like, hey, you turned me off wrong. Please don't do that. I mean, just look at the naming of these two consoles and tell me which one has their shit more together. While Xbox went down the route of appealing to the casual audience, I think PlayStation knew how to develop hardware. So whenever they did try something, it was always sort of good. That's why you still hear people talk happily about the PSP and PS Vita. These attempt at handhelds during the PS2 and PS3 era weren't as successful as the 3DS, but they were still good handhelds that many people have great memories with. Although these accessories weren't pushed so hard like the Kinect, maybe that was for the better. So it seems as if this war is slowly sizzling out, while at the same time losing their iconic charm. The last time we checked, the Xbox 360 was just about to catch up to Sony. Now let's see what the Xbox, Xbox One is up to. Alright, that's what you're going with.
Whoa, Xbox, record that. I just wish I had more time to play. Yo.
Let me run you through the reasoning behind naming the third console in the Xbox series the Xbox One. Microsoft considered the Xbox One to be an all-in-one entertainment system, so they named it the Xbox One. Genius.
Boyfriend, get me a beer. Take that.
As the Xbox 360 dwindled out with the mutation that was the Kinect, Microsoft had truly entered a period of arrogance. They believed the Xbox One could be the premier gaming console and the premier casual all-in-one entertainment system.
My experience is about communicating with my friends while I'm watching TV, while I might have music on, and at the same time I'm playing a game.
They refused to let the Kinect die. If you think back to Microsoft's origins in the console wars, it kind of makes sense that they would approach things with this mentality. After all, they only got involved because they were so worried that the PS2 would eliminate the need for their at-home computers. So as they found themselves sharing the mountaintop with Sony, they got carried away with the reports of their own victory. They came in with this mentality of like, well, everybody's gonna buy an Xbox. We outsold the PS3. When it's like, guys, you didn't outsell the PS3, you lost.
And again, Killer Instinct coming out later this year, exclusively for the Xbox One. We have a great partnership with Microsoft and with Double. Yo! Xbox, go home.
They steered the momentum they had gathered from the 360 right into the fucking ground as they tried to fly away into the sun of multimedia ubiquity.
Sick of this place!
If it was any more real, it would be real. The all-in-one.
Xbox One.
Also, just look at this thing. It's fucking ugly. What happened to the aesthetics? What about this visually differs from the PS4 other than slight differences in shape and a different logo? This was such a boring era for consoles. Gone are the cool home menus. Now it is full to the brim with ads for more content. The Xbox One truly marks the period where Microsoft lost all concern for aesthetics and leaned full into this corporate sleekness. The Xbox One home screen looks more like a fucking streaming service than it does a gaming console. At this time, Halo and Gears of War were on their last legs as franchises. Bungie had moved on to Destiny at this point, so Halo 4 was developed by Microsoft's own Halo development team.
Amazingly, Halo 4 is not only a success, but a bar-raising triumph for the entire first-person shooter genre.
It didn't really live up to the storytelling and game design of Bungie and felt like this forced extension of the story. The Switch and PS4 had significantly more notable exclusives. Would you rather play Breath of the Wild, The Last of Us, or Crackdown?
Today, you throw grenades. Boom! Tomorrow, you'll be throwing cars.
So, as a consumer, what would be the reasoning behind choosing the Xbox One over the PS4? The price point, more expensive. The exclusives, objectively worse. The aesthetics, not much of a difference. Microsoft clearly had different ideas for what the Xbox One would be than its consumers. Sony knew they were making a gaming console. This is why they were ultimately handedly defeated by the PS4 in this era. They truly lost any advantage over Sony as a consumer product, and they became way too obsessed with becoming more than a gaming console, while continuing to invest in the failed venture of the Kinect. And with the modernization of Xbox's branding, they lost one of their biggest advantages. Vibes. I'm not gonna act like they didn't sell 57 million units, but compared to the PS4's 117 million units, it's clear who was on top and who failed to attract more consumers. But you know what? We still got Halo, baby!
Oh, shut the fuck up about Halo.
Hey, whoa.
I'm sorry, it's every console.
Well, what? You gonna talk about fucking Ratchet and Clank exclusives?
Hey, okay. Those are good games. Okay, you're just jealous. Jealous of the fact that my console doesn't have warehouses of corpses.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Spider-Man called, he wants his font back.
Personal computers called, they want their Windows 2000 operating system back.
You never got to experience Halo.
Oh, again with Halo, dude, listen, I didn't want to play Halo. I didn't want to play Spider-Man. I didn't want to play Xbox or PlayStation. I wanted to play with you. I wanted to play with my friend. I didn't want a player v player. I wanted a player 2. But these companies, they split us apart, Drew. They don't care about us. They only care about money. Drew?
To George, as you were talking, you made me realize something. So I wrote this note. I don't belong anywhere except for this lime green menu and bold X. I'm going back to the fight. This is goodbye.
Forget that, let's play!